going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening to you. Good evening to yours, or whatever it may be. Hi. Welcome to Three Guys, One Pod. I'm the Slot Master 316 on 1,172 22 miles away. It's my old pal, Russ Factor.
There I am. Hi.
And 1,622 miles away to the El Norte, due north. You look up, you look straight up, straight out your front door. It's going to be our old pal, Fleshy P. Fleshy P, how are you? I guess Fleshy P's doing well.
How you doing, Fleshy P?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Heard you had quite the rager the other night. We saw the lights clear down halfway through America.
Can you not hear me, Russ Factor?
I can hear you.
Can Fleshy P not hear me? I probably have some dumb setting set wrong or something on this stupid thing. I don't think Fleshy P can hear me.
What's that other guy talking about?
Like I said, I don't think Fleshy P can hear me. Let me see if, let's just do this on the fly, Russ Factor. I'm going to see if I get this over here, switched over here. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, yeah. Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay, you can do it. It's all up to you. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
He can't. Why can't he hear me?
Can you not hear him? Fleshy P?
Not at all.
What?
Not at all. Not a word. I'm on the other end trying to read lips, but I'm not too good.
What the fuck?
Can like the world hear me on YouTube?
Yeah.
How can he hear you and not me?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can the people in TV land hear me?
I'm watching my levels go when you talk.
I got you, Russ, like loud and clear.
Well,
but
he's got me
Corey,
loud
I got to read your lips.
And you can hear Fleshy P.
I can hear him perfect. All right, well, relay the message to Fleshy P. Tell him I told him hi.
Slotmaster says hello.
Hello.
You can hear that, so I don't have to relay the message back.
I wonder why. Yeah, I can hear him perfect. I wonder why Fleshy P can't hear me. But he can hear you. Because it's going through the same situation.
Fleshy P, do me a favor. We're gonna do a little live tech support here on the big show.
I mean, it wouldn't be a show without doing any of this bullshit.
Can you right click on Slotmaster's face and see if the mute button seems to be toggled on?
Toggle. I mean, that'd be the only logical reason or logical thing, right? Because he can hear you, but he can't hear me. But I...
Nope. I got volume up. Everything... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I should block him.
Something you never want to hear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is a brand new technical difficulty that we are not familiar with having. What do we do?
I don't know. What do we do?
What do we do?
So he still can't hear me.
No.
But the people can hear me.
The people can hear you. I can hear you. You can hear him. I can hear him. The people can hear him.
What do you do, Russ Factor? You're the technological old buddy.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It's weird. Hold on. Let me see.
I got you. You both froze on my side. Maybe I didn't pay my taxes.
Maybe you didn't pay your taxes.
But we can hear you. How weird is that? I wonder why. Maybe could it be something on my end to him?
Roulette Master says, just turn YouTube on and listen to him on the delay.
It's a fantastic troubleshooting system
That
there.
5-second delay.
Roulette Master. I don't understand why he would not be able to hear me.
That is so weird.
Could you hear that? 'Cause
I did.
I did. You probably heard it through
Wait,
my
you
headphones.
heard that?
He probably heard it through my headphones because that was loud as shit.
Gravy.
Did you hear gravy?
Gravy.
No, I didn't hear gravy.
No, you heard the
Gravy.
air horn through my headphones. So
I did. I can smell gravy.
I can smell gravy.
A beautiful bastard roulette master. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, so it's like 2.5 guys, one pod.
I guess so.
Well, Fleshy P, chime in whenever you feel right. If you just got something to say, I relay this to him, Russ Factor. Chime in whenever you feel good.
Could you hear that?
I can slightly hear you.
That was through Russ Factor's headphones. Is there something through your board, Russ Factor? I don't know. I don't know what possibly this could be.
I don't know. The only thing I thought is that he'd accidentally muted you.
Gravy.
Which is
Gravy.
like the only thing.
I mean,
it's
like what a lot of people do.
We
in
could
my
try
life,
one
but-
more thing.
Okay, let's try it.
That is you disconnect from this call and reconnect. There he goes. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give this a try here. We'll see what happens. And
Hi.
nothing, Fleshy P? Nothing?
Now we lost him.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Nothing. He's got nothing.
All right. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't have time for this.
Well, Fleshy P, we're going to have to sort this out later. So if you want to hang out on the half end, you can. If you want to just enjoy
Yeah,
the
just
show
have
this
him
week,
hang-
you can
just-
do whatever you want.
Have him hang out.
We're going to have to
Have
fix
him
this
hang
off
out.
the air.
Chime in whenever he has. So should
I'm
we
just going to
start?
chime in by what I think is going on.
See, that was perfect timing right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we have a big Las Vegas recap, and I was thinking, I felt like we just did one of these to start the season, but that's not a problem.
That is not a problem.
That's a good. That's a good problem to have.
I was going back and I was trying to figure. I was like, God, where do we start? It's like, where should we start? And then Papa John Slots, in his infinite wisdom, said, "Why don't you start at the beginning?" So that's where we start.
I got there a few days earlier than Slotmaster did. I rolled in Sunday night, and oh my God, jam-packed airport, crazy stuff. Rolled out, and I stayed a couple nights at Treasure Island. I'd never been there. I don't even think I've ever walked in there, and it was a nice place. I enjoyed my time. Played some games, didn't lose my ass. That was good. That was a good start to the trip. Not losing my ass, just kind of breaking even. I sat down and played roulette for like 3.5 hours one night, and just
Did you use the Dr. Pepper roulette system where Keith or not Keith, but whatever and Cheryl got kicked out of the casino?
No, I did kind of one similar to what we were doing the night that you won the Super Grand, where I was just kind of chasing the wins a little bit, and just enjoyed some free drinks, hanging out, played a little the one where the ball rolls by itself, and then I went over and sat down at a dealer for a little while and had
Nice.
a good time. And yeah, did that, hung out, did some walking, went to see the Pinball Hall of Fame, went over to Sphere to see the U2 concert that is now an immersive movie experience.
And I still can't. While I'm thinking about this, did you have Fleshy P disconnect and then reconnect?
No, I
might
did
work.
not. No, I did not. Fleshy
Might-
P, you
might
might
happen.
try disconnecting and reconnecting. It won't affect anything we're doing if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
What do they got going over? Obviously, pinball, but what kind? Like, what do they have? Like the Simpsons pinball or the
They
Kiss
got
pinball?
all sorts of pinball. It used to be in a much tinier building that was way off strip. It was probably like maybe 4,000, 5,000 square feet, and now they're in this giant 25,000 square foot rectangle warehouse, kind of near Mandalay Bay in the airport. And yeah, they have pinball machines from like new ones. Like I was playing. What did I play, man? I don't even know. I played like a Super Mario one. They had new ones for new movies. They had ones that were like older than all of us combined, it felt like, where they just kind of made funny sounds. And every time that you put your quarter in, whatever the score was, it was these wheels. Like it had to crank them all back to zero. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun playing a bunch of old pinball games. I did that. And then that was a day that I went on a magical journey and visited visited Excalibur and Luxor.
God, you did do it all, Russ Factor.
Yeah.
So I would probably it'd be a better named if it was the Pinball Museum, not the Pinball Hall of Fame.
It is a pinball museum. That's just kind of what it's always been called, is the Pinball Hall of Fame. So,
Wait for me. I'm in.
are you in?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh my God!
It was Fleshy
That's
P's
what I'm
problem.
It
For once, it was
must,
not
must
me.
be an intercontinental thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
must be.
You might want to check on those taxes. I think you were right.
I didn't think Canadians paid taxes.
Yeah, but
That's all we pay.
But yeah, after I did that, I walked around. That was pretty much the end of my journey there. Is I went to the Sphere and saw the U2 thing, which was really cool because I actually sat up in the 200s. I was the second row from the front in the center 200s. So it was pretty cool to kind of finally be up there for my first time. I know you'd been up there for the actual show. Both my shows were down on GA floor, so I don't know. I didn't really mess with the robots. I did the one thing in there where you stand. I don't know if you did any of the robot stuff, but you stand in the spotlights and you hear the different elements of the song. That was the only robot one I did. I didn't talk to one or anything.
I did. Yeah, I did the one that you just spoke about. Where you could hear, but it wasn't a U2 song. It was a different song.
Mine was the one with Johnny Cash.
Mine was.
It was a U2 song, but Johnny Cash did it. And like you had the original vocals from Bono, and then the Johnny Cash vocals.
Yeah, I can't remember what my song was, but that's kind of a neat little situation. I can't wrap my head around the movie until you explained it to me. I thought they had like some sort of hologram.
I did too at
situation.
first because the way everybody talked about it was like you start thinking you're there, and it's like you don't. It's built for the Sphere screen. You got to imagine like everything is proportioned differently and up probably about. I mean, in that Sphere, I don't even know how to tell feet, like 50 feet. I don't know, because the stage is there. It's like a concert minus all of the camera moving and camera angles. So a lot of it's still, and they only changed perspective a couple times. I, from GA floor, could not see the top of the stage lighting up, but from here there was two perspectives that were a little higher. One where I can still see it, but it was more eye level, and then one that was a lot higher where I could really see the whole stage. And then every now and then they did a behind the one view, which was really cool.
I know. I've listened to people give similar descriptions like what you just did, and I still don't understand it.
It's just a concert minus no camera moving. It's just real big, and then all the visuals were exactly as you remembered. They cut some stuff out. They cut some of my really favorite parts of the show out, which was crazy. So
yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
But after that, we wrapped it up, and then I was gonna head down to Fremont the next day, and we're about to get into our group story here. But I was at Treasure Island, like I said. I went down to have a little smoke before I packed up and was gonna go down, and I'm down there for no more than 2 minutes. I turn around, and there's Buffalo Bob and his posse walking through Treasure Island.
Oh, they were in Treasure Island. Did you go say hi to him?
Yeah, I went and said hi to him, and he said before he lost his. We'll talk about that, but he was already saying they were razzing him down there at G2E. So, yeah, we said hi real quick.
There he was, the mighty Slaughter himself, and I was like, Buffalo.
I did. I go. Oh shit! Is that Buffalo Bob?
And he was probably like, "Who
the fuck is in here?"
So that was the joke the whole trip.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I want to meet Buffalo Bob one day. I really do.
So we were supposed to get there Tuesday evening around 5 local. Our plane didn't leave Wichita till 8 local, so we got into, or 7:30ish. We got into Las Vegas at 7:45 or 8 local, so we were 2 hours behind. We were behind the 8 ball already. I was wanting to head on over to Resorts World to get in the mix with SD guy 1 2 3 4's group tug, but didn't make it over there because of my plane was late. But I'm trying to think what I remember briefly running into the roulette master. What did we
I met
do
up the first night when I got down there. I met up with Roulette Master first, like probably 2:00 in the afternoon. He's texting me. I'm like, I'm all checked in at the D. I'm wandering around Circa. He's like, great, we're coming down. He'd already invited me to dinner, Tony Roma's, at the Planet 6. It's like 2:45, and he's like, hey, we're coming down from Stadium Swim. Let's go grab a snack. We wound up over meeting at Victory Burger, where he had his, I don't even know if it was his first. I doubt it. His first hangover burger. Got to see that, and oh my God, that bacon did look delectable. I will say that. That did look good. So we met up and had a little snack, said what up, and then he wandered off for a while, and then I met up with Socks and Maddie over, and we went over and played at just some video poker at the Golden Gate a little bit to have drinks for dinner and everything, and then me and Socks went to dinner with Roulette Master and and learned how to use up all the comp with 6 cheesecakes at the end.
The good thing about that situation is, and I explained to both you and Socks, it was funny because I was getting text messages from her and from you, but you didn't know you guys were text messaging me.
I think we kind of had a thought we were.
Yeah, maybe, but it was from a different perspective, and both of those perspectives, it was a little bit of a different route, but we got to the exact same place in those text messages, and it was epic. And almost simultaneously, I got from both of you, he just ordered 6 slices of cheesesteak.
Cheesecake, yeah. I had one.
Oh, God.
Hold the toenails.
So he did end up taking five because he didn't have one of them there. He ended up taking 5 pieces of cheesecake up to the mini fridge to enjoy later, which I think he said he enjoyed them and they were pretty good.
I don't know how much later that was.
It
Russ
might have been in the elevator.
Gravy.
Yeah. So, and then what? We met up. Where did we initially go? The thing is just foggy to me. I need to write stuff down.
We met with you at Circa to give you your keys and everything, and then
give me the keys, Lisa.
You guys got back down. You literally just went and dropped your shit off, and you were right back down.
Oh yeah, Kelly wanted to change and was gonna shower, but then was that the night we went to Nacho Daddy, or was that night too? That's what I was trying to piece together.
Oh my God, it's so fucking blurry now. Did we go the first
See,
night?
I don't remember. I can't remember what we did because one of the nights, Matt McCraven's 22 Hundy had this fantastic idea of having that was the first night, having a tequila shot with a scorpion in it. Yeah. It's at Nacho Daddy. It's this whole little situation. So there was 10 of us that all went down there and had this. That was the night. The first night, and we had a shot with the scorpion, and you can go to Buffalo Bob Slots and watch that video. I haven't edited any of our video down yet. I had it, and the lady looked at me and was like, "Bite or chew, or swallow or chew. It's up to you." And I was like, "Okay, so Buffalo, you all right?"
Yeah. I'm good.
I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Bite or chew.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to you.
Swallow or chew. It's up to you. And the lady said, I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, you can either chew the scorpion or swallow it. And I'm like, well, who would swallow it?
A number of the gang.
And so,
I know a few.
I, being the forward-thinking citizen, thought about things, how they end up. And if you don't chew them, there could be some sticky situations. So I took the shot and then chewed the scorpion and swallowed it. And then I got absolutely accosted from every single individual that took one of those shots. Marty McCravens took 2 of them. Because Buffalo Bob did not want one because he was sitting over at the side. He goes, I have seen some dumb things in my life. This takes the cake. Does that happen to be cheesecake? Because Roulette Master ordered 5 slices. This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. My friends are really dumb.
Yeah, we're not going to throw up. Yeah, you are.
How are we doing this?
Cheers.
I'm drinking Bob's.
Listen for the gag.
Yeah, the dry heaving coming up. Listen for that.
It's real.
Now the go change.
So right in the middle of that,
I'm chewing mine up.
look at who said that? King? Was that Kang?
No, I said I'm chewing mine up. Sucks.
Yeah, I chewed mine up. King's right there. King was having a hard time, and he was dry heaving. Bob was dry heaving, and then right behind me, you see that little bald-headed guy in the pink? That is Dakota Slots World. He was, if you rewind it about 10 seconds, you see him almost throw up. Right there. I was having a real hard time not throwing up because if I hear people throw up, I throw up. If I see people throw up, I throw up. So that was our situation.
Yeah, and then we ended up somewhere crazy after this too. That I'd walked by probably every time I'd been on Fremont, but I'd never snuck down that dark staircase.
I would advise not to sneak down that little pathway because you go a little bit off the beaten path, and right above right on Fremont, you can see it's like this Night Cats or something karaoke, but it's like a whole little strip mall situation back in this back little area.
Yeah.
And I knew things were just a little bit shady when Michael Jackson, or a guy or a girl, not 100% sure, asked me to see my ID, and it was Michael Jackson, dressed up as Michael Jackson. I go, well, Bob, what on earth are we doing here? And he goes, oh, Dakota wants to ride the dick. And I was like, I go, what? Pardon? Yeah, Dakota wants to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not real sure what this means. But we get in there, and I was like, he handed my ID to Michael Jackson. He goes, you're good. Don't be ignorant in there. You're going to have to beat it. So then we order some drinks, and I walk around the back of this bar. Sure enough.
Yeah.
It was the male thingy.
Giant.
And it was like a mechanical male thingy. And it was like not a mechanical bull. So picture a mechanical bull. But instead of a mechanical bull, you are, it's a real
giant, pink,
fleshy, veiny thing. And Michael Jackson comes up to me and goes, I hear you want to ride it. And I was like, no, that bald guy in the pink is, oh, okay, that's Dakota. And I was like, how do you know his name? Oh, I saw his ID too. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he goes, it'll be $20. Who's going to pay me? And I was like, I don't know, maybe he will. And he goes, okay, he. And then he walked off. Next thing I know is we're all kind of sitting around having drinks. And we didn't know at the time. We found out later, kind of the situation that was going on. We had there was a at Resorts World, coincidentally, Miss Olympia and Mr. Olympia competition was going on at the same time.
We had no clue at this point.
I had no clue. I see these two very, very, very muscular chicks.
Yeah, so strong that I think my quote was, you better not go pop off at them because you'll die if they punch you in the face. You will not come back from this.
And one of the girls was, if she was not fresh out of the tanning machine, she was right out of the bathroom applying bronzer to her entire body. She looks over at this other girl and she goes, "Get over here." And I'm not exaggerating. That is as deep as her voice was.
Like Mortal Kombat.
"Get over here." And I thought she was talking to me. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yes, ma'am.
But she was talking to, I think her girlfriend.
King Slot says chicks is a term used lightly.
They jump on the wiener, face each other, and then just start making out.
Yeah.
I look over at Buffalo Bob, who's sitting on the couch, and I go, "What on earth is going on here? What is going on?" I did not have two Miss Olympia muscle-bound tan chicks making out on the mechanical deal.
And keep in mind, we are in a bubble that does not feel like we're on Fremont anymore.
Right.
And we're like the only people in this our group, and then like a couple stragglers and them are the only people in this weird bar.
Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson.
So Michael Jackson, or then Dakota somehow appears out of nowhere, and then the two chicks that were making out jump off of it, and I was like, what? Like legit, what is going on here? Dakota Slots World jumps on this thing, and there's no handles, mind you. You're just holding on to veins.
Oh yeah.
So he wrapped it and gave that thing the biggest bear hug he possibly could.
Wrap your arms around the nuts.
That's what I said. Turn around, hold the nuts.
My favorite quote from this is, "Don't you ride that dick? Don't let that dick ride you."
So I look over to my right. I've got film of this, by the way, because I went back and looked. Over to my right, I have Michael Jackson. Over to my left, I have "Touch My Breast, I Like the Rest" chicks. And in the middle, I've got Dakota just gripping this thing. I can just see Michael Jackson, who's working the mechanical wiener, going, "Oh, come on, you can do it, ah, hee hee," just over in the corner. And then the two chicks are just cheering him on. I'm sitting there stunned, trying to figure out what's going on. Man. And then Michael Jackson starts twirling him super, super fast. And then I almost threw up because he was twirling so super fast. And then he got tossed. Yep. He got ejected. And I look over and I was just like, okay, I can knock that off my list of things I've seen. So cut to, so that was like Tuesday. That was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Cut to Saturday night, Thursday night. Or Friday morning, 1:30 or 2-ish a.m., me, Russ, Kylie, Kelly, Bob, Dakota, everybody is back at the Circa playing slots. And I turned around, I go, "Oh my God, it's the two chicks that were making out on the wiener." And then they turn around.
It took them a second, and they're like, "What?"
A second.
And then
they go, "Pardon?"
Pardon.
And that's like, "You two chicks were riding the mechanical." Yeah. I mean, what are the chances we run into them again? So then after we left there, we God, I can't even remember what we did. We just probably left, and then we streamed. The very first night, we streamed until about 8 in the morning. I would say would that be about you? You went and laid your head on your pillow just a little bit earlier. Yeah. Russ Factor. Yeah, you're tired. You're a tired boy.
I had to conserve my energy all week, being out there since Sunday. So like it was always, I was out a couple hours before everyone else. It'd be like 5:45, and they'd be done. We rolled in at 8:30.
And then and then Kelly was like, let's. I was like, "You ready?" She's like, "Oh no, let's keep streaming." I was like, "Okay, if you don't want to go to bed, we can." It's interesting that I have zero concept of time when I'm in Vegas. I just don't. I don't sleep normally, so I don't have any concept of time.
Yeah, I check in from time to time, but like it's midnight, and in my brain it's like, oh, it's got to be 2. No, it's 4:50 a.m.
That's like, so we went back up to the room finally, like I said, 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, and Kelly was like, holy moly. And I was like, yeah. She like looked outside and people were getting ready to go to work downstairs so we could see the pool at Circa. And she's like, I go, yeah, it's 8:00.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
So the dick cleaners are out there with their squeegees getting ready to clean off that dick.
and
Get ready for another day.
Another day, another dollar. So I slept. We were supposed to. In my mind, I vaguely remember. That would have been Wednesday morning. I vaguely remember Buffalo Bob saying, "Hey, we'll come over here for breakfast."
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock.
Not me.
And about 30 minutes after I actually laid down, I got a text message. Where are you guys at? And I go, well, I thought you weren't coming over here till 9. And he's like, oh, no, we're here. But if you aren't up, we're going to head out. And I was like, okay. And then it was 8:30. So we missed that. And I was like, all right, we'll meet up with you after a bit. So Russ Factor and I and Roulette Master all piled in and drove to the Venetian.
Yes.
Yeah. And my wife was giving me the business because I told her I valeted. I paid, Roulette Master split it with me. He tried to give a couple slices of cheesecake to the driver, but he told him he only takes cash.
Yeah, the guy said, no, I'm full. I'm good.
But we split it. It was $40. My wife's like, oh, my God, mark this down in history. The first time you've ever paid for valet, which is true. And it ended up
the last time, too.
And it ended up being the complete opposite side of the valet, or where the G2E was.
Yeah.
That's the reason we went.
Yeah, I think Bob told us, he's like, you can just park over here and it's fucking free and just walk right
And it's free. It's like 10 steps from the door.
No,
but
we walked all the way through the Venetian from the front, way past the casino, all the way back to the convention center like idiots.
And so we pull up. And I had to call Bob. He's like, I'm in the lobby. And he goes, you're in the lobby? And I go, yeah. I'm staring, like where you check in. What did you park over there for? And I was like, I don't know. I just figured that where'd we park? And so we come back to we call him, and he comes back to the lobby and meets us. And it was sad, Buffalo Bob.
Yeah.
The reason it was sad, Buffalo Bob, is because Buffalo Bob got his, for lack of a better term, credentials yanked.
Yeah, in a pretty wild way.
And he explained it to us like when we were sitting out in the lobby, and I said, how on earth did they find you? And he goes, just wait until you see where they got me. And I was like, okay. Here, I'm going to share this picture of sad Buffalo Bob in the Discord so you can pull it up, Russ Factor, while I'm looking. I'll share some pictures in here.
Okie dokie.
And I just sent it there. So he said there had to be some sort of facial recognition of some sort. You see, he's holding his credentials, used to be right in the middle there. They just took him. They took him from him. He couldn't do it anymore. They said, you were filming yesterday. We can no longer have you on the premises. Buffalo Bob got 86th from the entire situation.
Yeah, he said they found him on that big. He was in a sea of people, and they just swarmed him, and they knew who he was. They had printouts from Facebook of him. Oh, my God, that's crazy. What the fuck?
It was wild. That is what happened. I think that they had to have some sort of facial recognition. It was probably 1,000 yards long, this hallway. Mm-hmm. And when we walked through there, it was shoulder to shoulder.
And you look around and you see dudes standing occasionally by the wall, but outside of just general surveying, it didn't look like they were looking too hard at anything. So they had to have had something in there that we didn't know about that was able to identify people coming through.
Yeah, they had to have. So they snag his credentials. And I was like, well, what'd they snag him for? He's like, I told him the day that he was, the previous day, because they said he was harassing him. And I was like, I don't think you can film that day because they're having some world premieres and some exclusives on this and that. And I think that's why they were giving him the business.
Well, what we found out is you could apparently not really film at all, like unless you went through the runaround.
What we found out was exactly that. My understanding and the stuff that I signed is that you could go in there, you could talk to the manufacturer, you could film. They would discuss whatever. That wasn't the case. It could have been the case, but they were like, "Oh, did you talk to Amanda?" No.
Yeah, they started naming people by their first name and like, "Oh, you got to go talk to Amanda." And it's like, "Oh, okay, all right, great."
Okay.
Let me guess, she's not in today.
Feel very welcome. No. It's probably a lack of better term, and I'll never play a Konami slot again.
Oh yeah, you got. It was rude in there.
That guy was rude as F, man. I was like. We felt kind of out of place because we're like in shorts and a t-shirt, and Roulette Master was in his Roulette Master golf polo, and
he was probably dressed the nicest out of all of us.
He was dressed the nicest,
and he actually had conversations with a couple roulette people.
He did, and I was just like, I don't know. I just wanted to see the game, so I was sitting there playing a Konami game. And this guy in the suit goes, "You're gonna have to leave the booth. Scoot over. I've got customers coming through." And I was like looking at him like, "What?" And he goes, "Move."
Dude, I caught that, and like we started walking, but I was like, "Oh, Slot Master's not next to me." He is over at the edge, turned around, just fucking staring at that dude, and then his senses came to him, and he just shook his head and turned around and walked off with us. I was like, "Oh, let me get my camera ready. I'm gonna get us kicked out because I'm filming this."
I was like, "Konami, I am never putting a dime in another Konami slot machine ever. You had your chance. Your games suck anyway." But if you want to pay me, I'll take it.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing over there I wanted to see because they got some different slots overseas, and no, it was nothing special in there either. So I agree. No more dollars and no slots.
That wasn't the only one that was like, "Hey, hi, I work for IGT. Would you like to come in and look at all of the Wheel of Fortunes that we got?" And I was like, "Okay." And then the lady was like, "Do you have an appointment?" And I was like, "No." Let me guess. Talk to Amanda? And she's like, "No, you need to talk to Alfredo." And I was, "What?" Whatever. And she was like, she looked at our badge. She's like, "Oh, influencers." And I was like, "I didn't put this on here." "Oh, the slot master." And I was like, "Yeah, so can we come in or not?" "You can come in. Just don't take your phone out or we'll ask you to leave." And I was like, okay, so we fiddled around in the Wheel of Fortune arena, which they do have some really cool games coming out. Most all of them are AP games.
Yep. It's really neat because you got all the different pointers along the way. So the one you'll be looking for is when all the pointers are all lit up and people will be leaving 5 pointers ready to go for you. They were pretty fun. They were nice. We saw that one that we liked really well that had the cool screen over the wheels, where like the animations would show up kind of holographic over them. That I really liked. I thought that was cool. Yeah,
that was cool. They had some big, huge displays that they're hoping to get into casinos that were enormous. So we dicked around there for a while. And then I saw this thing that was pretty cool. It looked, it was almost very like holographic-y, like a old school TV-ish, but it was displaying, I don't even remember, it looked like a phone, didn't it? Is that what that looked like, the thing that was spinning around? You know those fans that spin super duper fast,
and they can display LED images that look like that, but it's really just a fan thing spinning around. Yeah. I saw that.
So I look at this. I was like, "God, guys, come over here, check this out." So Roulette Master and Russ Factor come over and look at it, and I kind of walk to the side, getting ready to play another slot machine, and then I hear Russ Factor go, "Don't get any ideas." And about that time, thump, thump. And I turned around and I just see Roulette Master shaking his finger. And I go, there is no possible way on God's green earth that Roulette Master put his finger in that thing. And he was like, his eyes were watering up like, oh, that had to hurt like a mother.
The fan didn't stop. He pulled his finger out. That's yeah. And like instantly, I'm like, I'm just like looking because I'm like in my head, like he chopped his finger off.
I thought he chopped his finger off.
Yeah.
Then I was like, let's get him a gravy wrap stats.
Yeah.
We need something over here to make the roulette master forget about what he just did. But I heard, I didn't see, I just heard, but I heard Russ Factor kind of play by play. Oh, don't even think about it. So roulette master must have been sitting there with his finger just slowly moving towards it. And Russ Factor did what he could to,
he was getting
it.
a quick gander at it. He's like, I wonder if is that like a fan? Is that and then I go, don't get any ideas as his finger goes, and he just goes, thump. And then for 3 days, I asked how his finger was doing, and it was the same every time. It's turning black. By
It
day
was
3,
black.
I just texted Roulette Master again, and it's the 3rd day, and he is still using the word turning when he's talking about his finger turning black.
It was instantly black. You could see the bruise instantly on his
On his
pointer
nail there,
finger.
yeah. Oh my god.
I wish I had video of him just. But
Curiosity got the best of him.
I mean, he's like a giant kid. It's like, roulette master, we cannot take you anywhere. That's funny. Super funny. So then we walk around, and of course, roulette master, after he, if you can't get gravy or you can't get garlic butter, the next best thing is huffing even more puff. So we were trying to find that building or that venue for him. The other thing about roulette master that I was crying laughing. So when you walk into each booth, they're set up as booths. Some of them are huge. Like the IGT had like 10 booths, like 10 of them all wrapped together. And then the smaller slot things had maybe 2. And then they were like 5 or 6 feet apart, or, like that was like 1. So like IGT probably had like 10. So they had like 1,000 square feet or something. Every single one that you'd go into, you had to step up about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. The very first one got me.
Me too.
Got me.
Fool me once.
Fool me once. Shame on me. Shame on you. Every single booth we went into, probably 14 or 15, the roulette master tripped going in or going out. After about the 5th one, I was like, buddy, there's a step into it.
We're just like step.
He was like, I know. I just keep forgetting.
He's so excited looking at all these pretty slot machines and lights.
He was all the lights. He was just like, I know. So of course he tripped going into the Aristocrat, or Light and Wonder, excuse me, Light and Wonder, where Huff and Puff was, and he found his Huff and Puff machine. Yeah. Russ played Huff and Even More Puff, the one with the brand new one with the double wheel. Mm-hmm. And then Roulette Master did too. So
and
they had like
in there it's all free
set up.
So you can just play these to see how they spin. You can trigger bonuses. But what I did was play it like just tweak your spins, just because I wanted to see. Because I don't really have any luck with that game ever. I know a couple other guys who don't either.
So like the rest of the games were all like demoed out. Like you would press demo or you'd press spin and then you'd win $5,000 on the first spin, or you'd get a bonus in the first spin. It'd show you how it was. So the Roulette Master played one and Russ Factor played the other. Russ Factor, how many spins was it? 120?
I got about 117 spins before I got a hat bonus. And there was like little to no line hits in between, nothing. 117 spins to get a fucking hat bonus.
And then Roulette Master got, it was probably 60 or 70 spins before he got into the bonus. And then he did get a hat bonus, and he got one hat in that bonus. And that's what he normally gets in real life. I was like, boys, if this isn't an idea of how dumb and stupid this game is, their demo.
My bonus was shit too.
Takes 120 spins to get into a bonus. It was wild. So then, of course, we walked out, and I asked one of the guys where the I thought I was going to be funny. Asked him where the Dragon Train game was, or the lady just looked at me like I was. She was like, "Oh, you're like it was." I was the 600th person that day to ask her and try to be funny where that game was.
She's like, "Let me guess, your badge says influencer on it."
Let me guess. I would have seen by your T-shirt and shorts. I was like, I wear the same thing every day, lady.
Why don't you go on with your buddy in his skull shorts? Get out of here.
Yeah, follow that guy in the skull shorts and tell him to get the. And so then we left.
Yep, we were only there for what, maybe an hour and a half tops.
Yeah, and it's a huge area. And,
we wanted to
we
film. We were going to be very respectful about it.
Yeah.
If we could have filmed, we might have been there for like 4 hours.
We did not leave before we hit that sad influencer section.
I got stickers in my bag. I got to give to my wife. I forgot.
Took a couple diet Dr. Peppers and some stickers.
It was this little tiny roped off thing outside of everything over in the corner of the expo, and it was just there was like 3 people sitting in there, and I mean it couldn't have been more sad. And I go, oh look, there's our area. We're all set. They got us all set up over here.
Sweet, we can go here.
We didn't even go in. We grabbed our Coke and stickers from outside.
We did. We didn't even go in. We just did. It was funny. So then we left, and we went back to the hotel. And Kells Bells pretty much slept the entire day because we went to bed at 8. Or 8:15 a.m. And she woke up and came down, and we met Socks, and we met Miss Roulette Master, and then I'm trying to think of what we did. Then everybody's figuring out what can we do for dinner, what can we do for this, what can we do for that. And one of the things that I wanted to do for sure was Buffalo Bob invited us multiple times to go have some flights, some margarita flights over at the Plaza, the circular bar. What do they call that thing?
The circus, the carousel bar.
Carousel bar.
I just saw his video today about it.
I did too. He was with that TikTok influencer.
Yeah.
What? Trying to figure that out. But anyway,
I'm trying to figure that out too. Where's Mocky?
So that's another show. So we get these. And coincidentally, I want to preface this by, I don't know what I did that day to the universe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure, but anything I did, it wasn't the right thing. I was being very kind, like the guy that was an asshole to me at Kenomi, as Russ said. I turned around, I was going to get my pound of flesh, but I turned the other cheek. I walked out.
Yep. Everybody's so mean to you.
A couple things happened a little bit down the road, and I look over at Russ Factor. And Russ Factor, the cards are not the stars are not aligning for me today. Yeah. So I go up, Bob and Kelly and Dakota and a few people, Socks, whoever had already been down there getting ready to have them a flight and it was almost gone. Or not almost gone, but it was drunken. And I just was going to go get a cup. And Kelly's like, hey, can you give me a cup too? And I was like, yeah, I'll get you a cup. So I asked this bartender, I said, hey, pal. I didn't even say anything. I was like, is there any chance I could get a cup? I'm going to have some of these flights, some margaritas. You guys like, yeah, sure. And he brings me a cup, and I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Is there any chance I could get some ice in that cup? He looks at me, and he goes, what the fuck is your problem? And I go, what? He goes, why don't you just ask for it at the same fucking time? What? And I kind of look around, and I was like, am I being punked? Is Russ Factor telling this guy to just mess with me?
I'm on the other end of the bar. I go, just give that guy the business when he comes over here.
I mean, that was the legit transaction that happened right there. I asked for a cup, and I told him I was going to share some of those margarita flights.
So you think you would be like,
perhaps get another one.
Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, is there any chance I can get some ice in there? Why the fuck don't you ask for that shit at the same time?
What the fuck?
I even had a little Finsky. I was going to give him a little, a little something for the effort.
Yeah.
And I turned and looked
Put
at
that
him.
right
and I
back
go,
in your pocket.
And I go, you hold on to those cups without ice. And I went and sat down.
There you go. There you go. I don't know what that was about, man. Like
It was the odd.
Nobody at
I
that
did
bar
not-
that worked there was quite right in a lot of different ways.
I was like, what on earth just transpired? I was like, so I went back and sat down, and I think Bob goes, hey, where are your cups? I was like, I mean,
Meanie over there wouldn't give me.
that mean guy wouldn't give me it up. He told me to go F myself. Russ is laughing because he heard the entire thing go down. But you didn't hear what I said, and you go, what did you say to that guy? And I go, I asked him for a cup first, and then asked him for ice second. Apparently, I was supposed to do it together.
Now you know. Won't make that
Real
mistake again.
Will not make that mistake again.
Next time, just ask for ice, and then when he comes back, say, "Could I get that in a cup?"
Fuck the cup. Put my hand for a dime. My cups cost more than 15 cents. It was whatever. So then we went back, and they were absolutely fantastic, glorious flights of margaritas. Bob went up and talked to the guy that he got them from, and got some cups of ice, and they were fantastic. Yeah. Magnificent.
Yep.
Strawberry.
That was a crowd favorite. Mixing it with the other ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's 4, I believe.
Yep.
Once I figured out the top, that you don't have to pull the top off, you can just pour. It was fantastic. But so then after that, we went and we were going to stream, but we didn't. I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting my nights like that's all just a jumbled mess.
That was Margarita Flight Night number 1.
Yeah, that was of multiple. So then one of the nights, Dakota Slot World was going to teach Kelly how to play blackjack. So we're all, or not teach her, but go play with her. She knows how to play. She knows how to count to 21, I think. We were just sitting upstairs, and then next thing I know, everybody's like gone. And I was like, I look over, and none other than John, Papa John Slots, John Palato is sitting next to me. I was like, where'd everybody go? And he goes, oh, Kelly went downstairs to play blackjack. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go downstairs. I didn't know where everybody went. So we go downstairs to the blackjack table. We don't see him. So I text Kelly, but at that same time, Bob called John, or John called Bob, whatever, and said, hey, we're over at the plaza. We're going to have a flight of margaritas. And I was like, they went to the plaza? That's weird. Anyway, that's exactly how I said it. I go, well, that gives me just a moment in time right here because I hadn't showered in like 3 days. I go, Papa John, I'm going to go run upstairs. I'm going to shower real fast, and then I'm going to come back down and enjoy me a flight of margaritas with you in the crew. And he goes, perfect. I'll head over there now. Tell everybody I'll be there in just a minute. So I go upstairs. We had another room because Roulette Master got me a room for Tuesday night, and my room didn't start till Wednesday through Saturday. So I took some of my stuff, like my camera and some battery packs, over to that new room and just took a shower in that new room. Yeah. While I was in the shower, just my phone was ringing. Apparently, because my texts were going off, and everybody's like, "What's going on? Why'd you go to the room? Why are you mad? What's going on? Why are you mad? What's going on?" And I was like, "What the fucking earth is going on here?" I go back into the other room, and Kelly's like, "I thought you were showering." I go, "I did." And she goes, "Where?" And I go, "In our other room." She was like, "What other room?" I was like, "The other room that we're moving to." And she's like, "Why are you mad?" And I go, "I'm not mad."
Technically, at this point, Slotmaster has, like, for other people, like 4 fucking rooms around Fremont at this point.
Yeah.
That are under his name.
The D, Fremont. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Yeah, Papa John said you were mad." And I go, "What do you mean?" "I'm not mad." And she goes, "Well, read your text back." And I said, "Okay." So I pulled my text out, and it said, oh, you guys are over at the plaza. That's weird. I wasn't mad. I just thought that was weird that they went over there and like didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Not necessarily didn't tell me. I didn't care. I just thought it was weird. I was not mad at all. And so then that set off just a whole nother turn of events.
John was just reading the tone. I see you there, John.
So I asked John, I go, John, what on earth gave you the idea that I was mad at anybody, let alone that beautiful looking lady right over there? And he goes, he thought about it for a second. I was just reading your tone. And I go, John, you've had 67 joints in the last 45 minutes, an uncountable amount of beer in the last 48 hours. How are you going to discern anything, let alone my tone? And he looked at me and goes, you're right, man. I'm sorry. Oh God, that was so good. So it was just a good time. And then after that whole situation, I think Socks went to bed a little early that night because she had to fly out the next day. So she went to bed. Maddie McCravens, me. Did you stick around there, or did you go back to bed too?
No,
you stuck around for a while.
Yeah, I was up every night till at least around 5.
Yeah, so you stuck around then, and we went downstairs and played Mariah or Whitney Houston. It was a fantastic time. Won some money on that whole thing. It was, it was good. And then it was a sad goodbye because Maddie had to take an Uber all the way back to New York. He was staying on the Strip, so he was like, "Okay, I guess I'm going to turn in. I'm leaving tomorrow."
He had all that fucking resort. He's like, if anybody's coming down, I have like $200 in resort credit. And it's like, we're probably not going to make it down there to eat, man. That sucks.
And then I think it was the same. It might have been that. Actually, it was that morning, because I'll rewind just a little bit back to everybody being mean to me. I was telling a story because I ended up going down to the restaurant in Circo with Miss Roulette Master and Roulette Master, and I had a meeting with just one of our guys that we both, or he works for him and whatever, and so I was just kind of giving him some a detailed situation of what happened on Monday prior. The reason I didn't go out Monday is because I had to do some things here in Wichita, and it kind of went back to that, and that guy was mean to me. So I was telling this story to Roulette Master, and I may have been a little animated and sort of maybe 5 or 6 decibels louder than just a speaking tone that you'd normally would be, but I wasn't like super loud, I didn't think. And this lady over in the corner just goes, "You've got a big fucking mouth. Why don't you just shut up and stop talking? You've got a big fucking mouth." And I look over at Roulette Master and I go, "Is she talking to me? Are you talking to me?" And I go, "What?" And she goes, "You heard me. Shut up." And I go, "Huh?" I really didn't know what was going on, and I did not turn the cheek this time. And so I start yelling back at her, and I was like, "Oh God, I bet you're real fun." Oh, just saying just a bunch of smart ass shit to him. "Oh, nobody's with you? How come nobody's with you?" "Oh, nobody wants to be with you." Just all this shit. She goes, "You know what? I can talk louder and cuss longer than you can." And I was like, "Oh, really? You want to try?" And then right about that time, it was like Bart Simpson, Roulette Master, and Bart Simpson or Homer Simpson going back into the bushes. Where he just kind of disappears. That was the Roulette Master. I saw the Roulette Master just kind of meandering on the outside and just leaving. Roulette Master is one. He loves food comps. He does not like conflict. No. I do know that. That's the yin to his yang. Food comps and conflict. And so I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to leave, lady. You have yourself a magnificent fucking day." And then Miss Roulette Master right behind me. Miss Roulette Master right behind me. I don't even think she said a word. She just looked at the lady and just frowned and just
Disgust.
disapproved with her
Shook her
eyes.
head.
Just
Yeah, that's what you
shook her head
said.
in disgust. And I was like, yeah, lady. Yeah, lady. So that was that night. And then, or that morning, that was at 8 in the morning. Or 9 in the morning, I guess. We missed Buffalo Bob. So then, we kind of went Wednesday, kind of played some slots. We went to, go back. We'll rewind a little bit again. We went to Fremont Casino. That's where the roulette master was staying. And we broadcast live there for quite some time, a long time. It was me, Kelly, Marty, Russ, roulette master's wife, and Bob and his crew. There was kind of two crews, like King Solo and Dakota Slot World and Bob. They were just meandering around doing their own slot AP stuff, and we were DJing, of course. And then Marty McCraven's had this bright idea of going over in this corner on these Dragon Link machines, and he was playing them for a minute. And right next to him was some folks, and he got a bonus, and Socks went to go just kind of dab him up.
Yeah.
And this lady goes, "Stop doing that. Stop doing that." And then Socks started a fight with this lady. The lady goes, "If you're going to dab him up on the other side." And then Matt's like, the roulette master, does not like conflict, looked at the lady in the nicest tone possible. There's no other side. There's a wall. And she goes, "You need to chill out, bro." And I was like, oh, God, I'm out of here. I can't take another fight.
The person she was with was not backing her up really either.
No. The girl was basically like, "Why are you yelling at these people? What are they? What are these people? What are these people doing?" And Socks is tiny. Yeah. There's no possible way that she even remotely rubbed clothes with this girl.
I had a
she
feeling
was just looking for trouble.
that she was, because I was standing back the moment they even got over there, before they were even going up. The moment anyone sat next to her, that lady was just like,
yeah, she had a mean look.
Yeah, like
she
I was
had
like,
a look
let's
at
keep an eye on this, and it did exactly what I thought it was going to do.
She had the Mrs. Roulette Master look of disgust. And then when Matt, of course, wedged his way inside there, it was great.
Yeah.
And then just to the left was John. And, the surprise of the trip was John, Papa John Slots. I've met him before, and he's real chill, but, you guys became just fast buds.
Yeah, we did.
And you guys bonded over, for lack of a better term, joints. And he always supplied you. Yeah. So much so, at one point, and this was, I think it wasn't the first, it could have been the second time in my life.
Which one?
The second time in my life where the Russ Factor said he tapped out. It was no moss. He could not have another puff of whatever Papa John Slots was giving him.
Yeah, I tapped out at one point. I was like, oh, my God, I think that was the first night.
I looked over. And I go, "Papa John, I've never seen
that was the
before."
first night, because the second night we went on we went on solo adventures. I wandered into whatever that hotel he was staying at down there.
Yeah, that was the next night.
Yeah, first night.
Yeah, that's right, because you were with him when me, Maddie, and Kelly were playing the Wiggy machine.
And I'm texting you stuff like, "I'm in foreign territory." Just
yeah. And we ran into you. We ran into you in the high limit room of the Circa. And the best ever is they had this ticket. Russ goes, "We've been winning. It's crazy. We're up like $200." And then they got a bonus. Kelly and I and Maddie were over on the other side or just on the other end of the slot machines. And then they got a bonus. And I look over, and Russ and Papa John Slots were jumping up and down, hugging each other. And I was like, you know what? This is fantastic to see. I like it. I'm like mixing all these nights and all these days together. It's just what I remember when they come together. Mm-hmm. But that was pretty funny. And It was awesome to meet all these people. You know, it's always good to see Socks, and it's fun to meet the new folks like Maddie and Dakota. Dakota was he was exactly what I thought he would be, and King Solo was exactly what I thought he would be. Just kind of an old school punk tattoo guy, real nice. It was fun. It was fun to meet all those people.
All of them were so nice. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that. And then, so the final day, we all went to lots of fun.
Dirty coin land. That's why I got this cough.
Everybody has this lots of fun cough, except me. I just woke up wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
And we played, I would guess, for, 2 or 3 hours
I think
there?
we were there longer this time than we were the first time. Last time.
I wanted to buy everybody. Well, first off, when I came down, I bought everybody drinks. I bought everybody. You have to have a White Claw or then a.
Oh yeah, it's like 11:30 in the morning, and I'm enjoying a big old tall hard Baja Blast.
Baja Blast hard Mountain Dew. And then I looked up and it said shrimp cocktail $2, and I was like, I'm gonna treat my lady.
10 for 20.
Ma'am, can I get 10 orders for my lady over here? Nobody wanted any, which was sad. And then we were broadcast live from there for quite a while, and then we walked over to
Resorts World.
Resorts World.
I did all right in there. I had $25 free play. I didn't play much there. I did this and took my money and run. As I popped over to the bats with the coin things that they hold.
Yeah.
And
the
turned
bag,
that $25, got down to about $12, and hit a bonus and turned it to $218. Clashed my ticket and said, "I'm just gonna go watch now."
It was yeah, it was good. And then Maddie, me, where did you go? Were you with us? Yeah, you were with us because you ate lunch with us. I was trying to figure out where you went, because then we got in a nice group poll, and it was fantastic. We had
I was getting my 200 from those bats.
And Maddie could not pick a loser. Then Socks couldn't pick a loser. You know, it was great.
It was cool to watch.
We had we started with $300 and got it all the way up to like $1,200.
It was like one of the only times we didn't play it that much. We held the temptation. It was one of the only times Cash Machine got played and did all right.
Won $500.
Yep.
So then that transpired, and then we had to say au revoir to Maddie and Socks.
Party Posse got a little smaller that day.
It did. It was sad. It was seeing little Sockers walk into the airport. It was sad, you know, because, like you said, it was just Marty got in. That wasn't before. I think that was a first of a stream that I've done where a guy said he was going to come try to fight me.
Yeah.
Chris is like, I'm 30 minutes away. And I was like, I've got all day, Chris.
Come on down, Chris. Get your mom to give you a ride.
Chris. Get your mom to give you a ride. We're at Resorts World. We right in front, over by that nacho stand.
Yeah. Come on, Chris.
Joke's on you, Chris. You're an hour away because traffic's heavy.
There's an ongoing joke because we saw a number of ambulances after that. So it was like, look, there's Chris's ride home.
Hey, Chris, here's your ride. Here's your ride, Chris. Yeah, so then we walked back through Circus. It's lots of fun, and took Socks and Maddie to the airport. And Kells Bells and I got a room at the Fontainebleau for Thursday night, her last night.
We didn't know this was. We were going to part ways for a bit after getting there and stuff, and you guys were going to stay down there, but I like how things turned out.
Things turned out fantastic. So then we, coincidentally, the people that own Fontainebleau are from Wichita. And so all these people were texting Kelly. They're like, hey, come to the Fontainebleau, come to the Fontainebleau, come to the Fontainebleau. And we're like, that sounds really hard. Russ Factor, why don't we just go on down to where we belong?
Yeah, back to our habitat, our enclosure.
So then we moseyed on down to the downtown. We moseyed down to
We took a very nice drive, though, from dropping Socks and them off at the airport, Maddie off at the airport. We drove all the way down the strip, got to see kind of everything. Traffic wasn't too terrible. So, yeah, since you guys weren't staying there, we did take a really nice drive down the strip, which was really cool, too.
The reason we were doing that is because we were going to stay there.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
This decision was being made as we were making the nice
As
drive.
we drove. And that was fun. Yeah. So then we got back to Circa. And that night was really fun. We went and met Bob again for some flights of margaritas. And coincidentally, they ran out. So we had them, I guess it's like some sort of pre-made stuff, apparently, and they ran out and didn't have it.
Yeah.
So Russ Factor, we got some frozen margaritas, high-octane frozen margaritas. They were toxic, man.
It was your fault. I was just doing what I was told.
Fault.
He was like, originally, he's like, yeah, get the one out of the machine and put an extra shot in. So that was my objective the whole time, was to get us all ones with extra shots. So I did. I did what I was told. Yeah, 4 of those was like $125.
That's what happened. Then we went to right next door to the Brian Christopher slot experience, non-smoking slot experience. And Bob had this idea to play this Brian Christopher slot. He goes, you know that's an advantage play game, right?
It was a 3-person one, right? Three different machines right there, I think.
I was like, yeah.
3, I think.
3, I think. Yeah. It was because John was on one, Bob was on one, and I was on one, and then Bob handed his camera to Kelly.
Yeah, then you had me take over pushing your button for a while.
It had
Until I brought you a ticket for 68 cents and said, I think we're out.
It had a must hit by $300 or something.
Yeah.
So we did the advantage play and put $400 in there and finally hit the $300. Russ came back over and he goes, you know what? I don't really know about these AP guys. And I was like, why, Russ? He goes, I don't like spending $400 to win 3.
Like, that's not a really good deal. I'm trying to do the math, but Bob's over there. He's 400 in, and he just hit 3.
That does not sound like a good advantage to nobody.
Poppin' pays more my ass.
Bob alone was 400 in. And then what's funny is he gets his 300, and Slotmaster playing one clear across the room on the wall goes, all right, Bob, split it up.
Because that was the deal. We were all going to put 100 in, and I'll take my piece of the pie. And then
Gravy.
Roulette Master goes, somebody say pie? And then this, I mean, there's so many just epic, great parts of the evening, of every evening. There's no, like, this was more fun than the other. This is more fun. But this night after that was, it was definitely a highlight. Russ Factor and I and Kelly we sat at the machine that I won the Super Grand at for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, just that whole bank.
Yeah, just jumping around. We sat at one machine on the other side, literally for almost damn near 2 hours, literally on $200 that just kept giving and giving and giving.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then so we said bye to Bob. Bob went home, and King wasn't feeling good. So I think King didn't even come out that night.
And John took off too.
John took off too. We didn't know where John was. But about because when we were broadcasting live, about 2:15, 3 in the morning, we get a little message on in our chat from John. Hey, you guys still at Circa? And I was like, yeah,
you know it.
We haven't moved. He goes, I'll see you in a minute. And I was like, where's he been?
He was at Bob's and he was ordering an Uber.
He was at Bob's. He'd been asleep for like 3 hours. He wasn't done.
Yeah.
He was not done. So he took an Uber, came up and hung out till, 5:30 or 6 that morning.
Yeah, this is the night that I took off about 5 and took my mac and cheese from Saginaw's up to my room and ate that and got a couple hours sleep.
Gravy.
And then, so me, Papa John, and Kelly were just sitting there playing and talking and having a blast. And I go, I think I'm done. So I thanked Papa John for hanging out. I was like, man, that was fun. And he goes, okay, I guess I'll just go back to Bob's. He's like, he still wanted to keep going. I was like, we can if you want. He's like, I'll go back to Bob's. And this was like 7.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I'd lost my phone.
Yeah.
I did not know where my phone
Last
was.
time we saw it was at the Wheel of Fortunes downstairs against the wall by that bathroom.
Where I hit $500 on the second spin.
Yeah.
And I went to the security office. They hadn't had it. And I was like, yeah, it'll turn up. Nobody steals phones anymore because they're just bricks. You can't get into them. You can't unlock them. You can't do anything. So, and plus the circus staff is fantastic with turning that stuff in. I just must have missed.
We just did it too quick.
I did it too quick.
Somebody picked it up and was going to turn it in when they were heading that direction, probably. So you probably passed the person that was turning it in when you were heading back out to go, well, they didn't find it.
So I, about 10 o'clock, went down and went and got my phone. No, it was later than that because I didn't get my phone till after I dropped my wife off. But I could get text messages and stuff on my watch. I woke up. I had this text message from John going, hey, man, can you call Bob? And that's all it said. And it was like 8. And I didn't even think none of it until later that evening when I saw John. And I go, why did you text me? And he goes, oh, man, listen to this shit. I was like, yeah. He goes, so I took the Uber back. I had the code to the garage door, but he has like this weird automatic lock on his door that in his garage that when it shuts, it locks. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound too weird to me. I said, so what did you do? He goes, well, I was laying down on the front porch, and then people started waking up and staring at me, and I thought it was really weird. So I went inside the garage door, opened the garage door, and started knocking on the inside garage door. And I go, like what time? And he goes, oh, it was about 8:30. He goes, the only reason I knocked is because I heard somebody coughing. And I go, oh, that was King, wasn't it? And so then later I got King's story. He goes, dude, I was scared.
Yeah.
That
He said he was
somebody
wandering around the kitchen there, and then like somebody was fucking knocking on the garage door.
And then John goes, if I was going to murder you, do you really think I'd knock? In his stoner way. That was so funny. But King was scared. So then I drop Kells Bells off the airport and a tearful goodbye.
Yeah.
And see you tomorrow, sugar tits.
Probably
So
the most
leaving
sleep
the
I
next
was
day.
getting during all this because I knew he had to go to the airport.
Yeah. And then after that, I texted Russ. It was about 11:30 or 12. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, you ready to tie on the day? And he goes, yeah.
He's like, let's eat some Chick-fil-A. You've been talking about it.
And then I met Russ Factor over at the Golden Nuggie for some nuggies.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I have a hard time with smells. Smells, I can't, if something smells not so great, I can't eat or I don't know. Next to us was a lady who was drinking Starbucks, so it smelled like coffee. And then Russ Factor goes, hey. I was like, yeah. And he goes, like with his eyeballs, was looking to the right.
Yeah.
And I was like,
She had a big old cup of ramen. That's not the bad part.
big old cup of ramen.
She had this little, and you might know if I describe it, ladies and gentlemen, this little rectangular tin where the lid peels off.
With a key, peeling
With a
that
key.
lid off.
Fucking
It was
sardines,
anchovies.
man.
Or
Sardines.
sardines.
Yeah. She's fucking pulling sardines out at the fucking, food court and dropping them in her ramen.
Good God.
I said, what kind of animal is this?
Gravy.
I was like, who on earth has a tin of sardines? 2, who puts them on their ramen? And 3, in public?
In a casino food court
Gravy.
in Vegas.
I wrapped up and we left.
Yeah, we were like, all right, we're done. We're gonna.
And I gave her, as I was walking out, I gave her the Miss Roulette Master just head shake of disgust. I was like, you animal.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Then we went over to the sports book and ran into Jay Fructose. Talked to him for a while. It's good to see him.
It's always good to see Jay.
he was placing some sports bets with his pals, and they were over there for a concert that
As
night.
you put it, they were in the lab.
They were in the lab cooking. And then what did we do after that? I think we went and kind of, this was like 2-ish or 3-ish. We kind of met up with the boys. Bob wanted to watch a baseball game because the Mets were getting ready to clinch. And I can't remember what all was going on. Everybody was kind of, Roulette Master had already gone. Kells, Sox and Maddie had already gone. Kells had gone. So it was just, just some good quality bonding time with old Russ Factor.
Yeah, we did a little live from Circa, I think, and then we went over to Fremont.
Yeah, then we went to Fremont. And then I think another highlight of the trip. We did the live before we went over to El Cortez.
Yeah, because we were at Fremont playing the sevens.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we ended the live, and we just strolled our old bones down to El Cortez. And did we?
Ooh.
Well, first off, we had to pass the street where it was a gay pride parade.
We had no clue. It was just
no
this
clue.
Weird metal gate situation that was like funneling everything down. And we're like, what is the point of this? This seems crazy.
And I asked the guy, I go, what's going on? And the guy goes, oh, it's a gay pride parade. And I was like, oh, okay. What? I knew that Bob and the rest of the crew were en route down there. And I was like, should we tell them? Nah. Just let them go. They'll find out. So they found themselves smack dab in the middle of a gay pride parade.
John was down there giving donations, I think. No. He said no.
John.
He said the donation booth was closed.
Baba John had a orgasm donor shirt on the last day of the trip. It's pretty funny. So then we walked into the El Cortez, and we stumbled upon, we went down there for a reason. We wanted to be a part of Granny Fest 24.
Yeah.
With Gambling Granny slot channel with her and Dice. And I did not expect to see what we saw.
We saw quite a treat.
I mean, it was a fantastic treat. Yeah. They had this little hole-in-the-wall bar at El Cortez cordoned off because the normal ballroom, she said, that holds 200 people. That's how they have 150, 200 people there last year, she said.
This is a little lounge right on the main floor of El Cortez at the bar and seats. Like, as we figured with the bar and seats and everything, you could probably, they said their limit was 50 people. That they could have in there, and there was 50 people in there for sure.
There was, yeah, it was packed in, socked into the gills, so much so that Russ Factor and I had to sit or kind of
we just stood on the rail. I mean, we had great view.
Oh, perfect seat. Yeah. Dice, I'm not sure if they're married. The significant other had one of the most beautiful guitars I'd ever seen. It was a Les Paul custom.
You were glazing that like crazy when it came by.
Dude, it was sweet. It was badass. I have a Les Paul, but it doesn't have the pearl insets like that. It's fantastic. Yeah. It was badass. So Dice started playing a couple licks on the guitar. And then everybody was saying, hey, you need to get there because Gambling Granny's going to have a sweet entrance. And I was like, oh, okay. Cannot wait. Yeah. So she comes bebopping in. I think I put a picture over there on Discord. She came bebopping in a little like chef's outfit from Order Up that she won her grand on. And was throwing out fortune cookies to all of the folks while Dice sang a song about the grand.
Yeah.
And I look over at Russ Factor and I was like, I mean, this is what it is to live right here, Russ Factor. And then they go into another tune. And then another tune, and another tune. I was like, Russ, this cannot get any better than this right now.
And they sang some Sonny and Cher, and it was so cool.
It was fantastic. It was like campy and fantastic.
It's so wild. Like, we had such a crazy time party in there. But yeah, Granny Fest, like us both being from like Kansas, it was like we felt like we were in a home, like somewhere like home where just people were enjoying something and a nice community of people. So like we were totally just like fucking grinning ear to ear, like this is so cool.
I was laughing, and then I turned around and I I saw the GM for El Cortez. He was laughing, and his son, who was a employee at El Cortez.
Yeah, that
they were
GM
like,
at El Cortez, super cool, dude. Super nice.
Yeah,
He
they were
chatted
all
with you for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, they were all laughing. So, and then Granny came out. Do you have? I put some pictures in the Discord for you that are to your deal from that evening. So Russ Factor and I were playing. Yeah, there's Gambling Granny. We're playing slots and stuff because we got El Cortez cards, and if we got a certain amount, yeah, there she is in her order up attire with, look at that guitar, holy moly. And then I was going to get to that. Go back. We can go back to that one. Yeah, there's his orgasm donor shirt. That was pretty much Russ Factor's and John's existence. I woke up one morning and I was like, man, because I don't really mind the smell of weed. I don't. It doesn't bother me. But I could not get the smell of weed out of my nose that next morning. I was like, damn, John smoked me out and Russ Factor out. But then, so I was sitting there playing like Ultimate Firelink or something at El Cortez because Russ and I had to get these points in order to get like, I don't know.
We had needed like 600
points
points to go over and get like $5 free play.
And then this guy behind me, I didn't know, Russ Factor was sitting, and then Buffalo Bob and the whole crew. And you just hear Bob. I didn't talk to Bob yet. I knew they were on the way, he and King and John and the whole crew. And I just hear this, where's this gumming Granny? Where are these granny gummies? Gumming Grammy. And I was like, oh, God, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
And then, so Russ was sitting right next to me, and he popped up to go say hi to Bob. And then this guy grabs this chair and said, hey, are you using this? I'll just put it back. And I was like, I turned around and looked at him. I was like, I recognize your voice. Are you the GM that always, or the casino manager that always sits in on Vegas Matt's, and he goes, yeah, I am. And I was like, I recognize your voice. And he goes, that's interesting. A lot of people do. That's funny. And so then he and I got to chat, and then he goes, you have a slot channel? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you've got another sub. And I said, thank you.
Sir.
And then he
pulled it up the sub right there. That was so cool.
Then he got his dude from player development, the little guy, and he gave me his card, and he goes like, hey, Monday, Tuesday, any day, I give you free.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, thanks. See you soon, boys. That was interesting. So then Gambling Granny came out, said hello. We took a pic, and it was fun. She was so nice. Her and Dice were so nice, and they were thankful we came by. And I was like, "What are you thanking us for? Thanks for that show, Granny. I haven't seen a show like that in years." So then after Granny got done singing, the guy that normally sings started singing. And every song he sung was about his mom.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
It was super weird.
We thought he was going to be a magician at first.
I thought he was a magician. He was dressed like a magician, but he just sang songs about
he
his...
He had his Bizarre haircut.
He did. Oh, man, it was funny. And I was just like... What is this guy doing? I was like, there's not even that many mom songs to begin with.
He found them all.
He sure enough found another one. Then Russ Factor and I got in on a little group poll with Granny, and it was fun times when we did that.
Yeah.
She played the machine where she won on the grand. She got a whole bunch of bonuses, but none that just really panned out.
There was a big stretch where nothing happened. Like, you went to the bathroom the whole time, and I was like, dude, it's got to be coming because it's been awful quiet on that machine here.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't think anything turned of it. If it did, we kind of left when it was getting down.
Yeah,
but,
donated. It was
we
too
definitely
long.
wanted to be a part of like giving her stream some longevity, so we were happy to get in on that group poll.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to meet her and fun to hang out there. And then after that, we see, what did we do? Russ Factor went to the bathroom. He goes, whatever you do, when you come out of this bathroom, don't go right. Just turn left. Don't even. And of course, I got to go, and I got to go turn right. So I go to the bathroom, and I go turn right, and it is a whole auxiliary coin-operated casino.
And it's quiet.
Very similar to Slots of Fun.
Yeah.
However, they look at you. I walked in, and it's like the jukebox stopped, and they turned around and looked at me.
And all of them just
stare at you, and I was
then get right back to their little.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn, and I told him right when I came out. And he didn't know what I was talking about at first. I come out, and my eyes are just wide, and I go, dude, I took a wrong turn. And he's like, okay. And I go, no, like, there's something crazy here. There's a route. Like, go to the bathroom, and don't go too deep, but just peek. Just peek.
Just peek. And I went in there, and I was like, go take a peek. But then we went back to Circa again, and Russ Factor and I played till the wee hours of the morning.
I think at this point we said goodnight to everybody else. It was just me.
Yeah, we did.
Me and Slotmaster and a big long stream.
We did. We went and said adios to everybody, and it's sad. It was so much fun hanging out and seeing everybody and doing all the things with everybody, and it's just like one by one they just went home.
Yep.
Out of our lives. Then it was just you and me, Russ Factor, and we rode that ship all the way home.
Yeah, we got word about 2:00 in the morning that the boys were planning an airport stream, but more of that in a second.
We got word that the boys were gonna go about 5:30, 5:15, and they asked us to come. And I was like, my flight's at like 4.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go lay down for a little while and take a shower.
I think I'm good. So then Russ and I played to the wee hours, said goodbye, told Russ Factor I would pick him up, I don't know, what did we go, leave 11-ish, or 10:30 or 11. So then we went down, played some slots for a little bit, had a little free play at the Fremont. Then we drove to the airport, and so we saw the Jersey Mike's where Roulette Master had his, or we didn't see it. We spoke of wondering where the Jersey Mike's was, where Roulette Master.
Yeah, I think you guys were in a different. You were in the other gate because the only one I had by me was Porta Sub.
Yeah.
So
then we played a little bit of slots, and then I said goodbye, gave old Russ Factor a hug, and said, we'll see you soon, big guy. And then he went over to another gate, and he ran into Papa John.
Yeah, I did. He was walking from that gate, just finishing hitting the slots, had his headphones on. Oh, my God, he was like a zombie at that point, too. And I just, I tap him on the shoulder, and he turns, like, who the fuck's tapping me in the airport? And he's like, oh, shit. How'd you get here? And I go, I'm leaving.
Come to find out, that was just the start of Papa John's
John
adventures.
goes, I'm going to be here till, around 11. And keep in mind, it was like 1 o'clock at this point in time.
I asked what time he got there, and he said they got there at 5:30 in the morning to drop King off.
Yeah.
So King was first, and they wanted to play some slots. So King and Papa John left early. And so I had got on my first flight, and I had to go to Denver. Russ, by the time I was in Denver, Russ had already
I just
made
took
it
off,
back.
I think, when you got to Denver.
Yeah, and then by the time I was
for like fucking 40 minutes, it was crazy.
By the time I was getting ready to fly out of Denver, Russ landed in Arizona, and that's Papa John was live, and just texting Russ and I before he went live about how the airport's been his bitch, and this is the greatest run he's ever had at the airport.
His honey hole.
And his honey hole. He was up about $800, and he wants to break his record of $1,100.
Yeah.
And I said, man, you are well on your way. You're going to do it. So then I am in the air from Denver to Wichita, and he goes live. He is in the smoking room of Concourse B or C. I can't remember which one it was. And he gets stuck on a piggies game. So he started it with like 25, somewhere around there. I can't remember what it was. And so he gets to about 48 42 or 43 on the blue pig, and he runs out of money. He texts Russ and I and go, "Hey, are you guys still here?"
No, we are long
And
gone,
I was like,
bud.
I go, "No, bud, I'm already back in Wichita." And he goes like, "Damn." And little did I know,
It's like if we were there, we would have been with you, bud.
little did I know that the next like 2.5 hours, 3 hours was going to be one of the greatest live streams I've ever
All
seen
time.
on YouTube. What had happened is John blew through. It was like a $6 spin, wasn't it?
Yep,
I wasn't even paying
$6 bet.
attention to what the slot was.
He had dudes in that smoking room. Remember that dude who was just like really interested in the waterfalls machine? Like,
Yeah.
Like, what is he
Yeah.
doing? He's not even pretending to play. He's just like inspecting it. He was camping.
I was crying, laughing for 3 hours. What John did was what every AP player with a head on their shoulders does, is he called in reinforcements, and that reinforcement came in the Buffalo form of Buffalo Bob.
Yeah. Now, how did Bob get into the airport?
John was whatever concourse he was in the smoking room playing this game. All of these slot machines are, for the most part, there's some over by the baggage claim. The majority of the slot machines, well, I don't even know. Where John was behind TSA security.
Yeah.
He asked me, he's like, no, he asked if we were there, and I was like, no, we're not there. And I was like, if you call reinforcements in, you're going to have to get that reinforcement a ticket. So he's like, he knew that Bob was going to go to L.A. the next day for the Mets game. So he figured he'd do Bob a solid and do himself a solid. Hey, Bob, I'll buy you a plane ticket to L.A. if you'll come bail me out of this, and I'll chop it with you. And I if there's only thing I could ever see, I was hoping it was in text message form, but John said it was a phone call. Yeah. I would love to have had audio of that phone call.
Oh, man.
Hey, Bob. Yeah? This is John. Yeah? I was just bragging to the slot master and Russ Factor that the airport was my bitch. But I pumped $800 into this pig game. Do you think that I could buy you a ticket and you could come bail me out? I'll chop this pot with you, Bob. Next thing you know, we get video of Bob at the airport.
Going live.
Guys, I got through. And that was not before Bob found a Hens game.
He was 2K deep, actually.
Yeah.
Not
He was
800.
2K deep. Okay.
Yeah. So he hit his he hit his point, and then he dumped 2K into these piggies. And ran out of funds, and could have got more, but there was people camping that machine, so he had to stay. He had to hold it down.
Yeah, 800 was his profit.
Yeah.
From that day.
Yeah, because he had the 400 and the 400.
Yeah, he pumped that in because he won 400 or did 400 with King and then 400 on his own, and then pumped in whatever he had. He had to call Bob.
Oh my God, this stream.
1-800 rent an AP. Call Bob. So Bob came, and Bob, it couldn't have been in a worse place, especially if it was me. I'd get stuck. That would be me. He was in the smoke room where you can barely see in those things. There's so much.
Oh my God.
smoke.
Even I go in there sometimes, like really quick, and it's too much for me. And I'm a smoker. It's rough.
And you want to talk about the absolute ultimate all-time Hall of Fame walk of shame. That's having to buy your buddy a plane ticket to come bail you out
of a plane at the goddamn airport in Las Vegas.
Oh, and of course, Bob did, in Bob fashion, just own him.
Yeah, and
when he
Bob
got
hit
there.
that pig too.
It took maybe maybe $50.
Sitting in that smoking room, though, I'm in chat like, congratulations, Bob, you're addicted to nicotine now.
You have stage 4 lung virus. And he hit it, and of course, and then Bob's like, I'm here. I might as well wander around.
Yeah, he still had like 3 hours until his flight, so they took us on a journey.
They took us on a journey. There's a couple things I found out. John, who flew in there the first time and was there for 4 or 5 hours on his 6 hours on his first trip. John knows his way around the airport and the different ins and outs and ups and downs.
He knew
of
certain
the
gates that
airport.
had no slots. Like, don't go there. Don't do that one. And on this one, you get out here and you have to go this way. And it looks like there's nothing, but they're down here. I'm like, what? Dude knows this whole airport like the back of his hand.
John turned into a slot Sherpa, for a lack of better term, at the airport. He was leading his guy up the mountain to make some money back because it ended up they lost a little bit of money on the deal. They got I can't remember what it was, like $1,300 or something. I can't remember. He lost quite a bit, and Bob's like, "What's better than having zero in your pocket?
Yeah,
right? It's better than have nothing." And from the time they won that pig game to the time the stream ended, I don't think Papa John said much. I mean, chat was on fire. Bob was on fire. I was
the
like
announcer
legit,
on the airport was on fire.
I was legit crying, and I looked over at my wife. I'd got home by then. I was sitting on my porch with my wife watching this. Honest to God, my face hurt and my stomach hurt the next morning, so I was laughing so hard. I was like, how hard would it be to call the airport?
I got
and page
text.
Papa John.
Slotmaster. I didn't even know. I had a hunch what he's doing, but I get a text and he goes, "Do you know John's last name?"
I couldn't remember
I'm
it.
like, "Oh no, I don't."
And I remember that it was his Discord name, and coincidentally, I was like, "Huh, I want to give this Seoul airport, see if I can get a." It's rather easy to page somebody at the airport. However, she didn't say what I wanted her to say. I wanted her. I had her page John. I wanted her to say that he left his wallet at the pigs machine in the smoke room in Concourse C, but they just said his first and last name that had property at the slot machine or at the smoking room in Concourse C. Please return for your property. And I mean, it really confused John because he heard it.
Yeah, and then Bob goes, they called your name. And he's like, how do they know my name?
Oh my God. I mean, because you could hear the airport lady, and it was super weird because for like 30 minutes, it was like testing airport intercom.
Yeah.
1,
Like, what the
2,
fuck was going on with that?
3. And you could hear it just perfectly.
Yeah.
And I ran back out to the porch, and you could just hear, "John, please return to Concourse C for your property." And I just fall over laughing. I was like, no way. And my wife was like, "You asshole, you're the one that did that, didn't you?" And John was perplexed. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. John Plato, please return to Concourse C smoking room. John goes, "Hey, wait, what'd they say? Were they talking to me? What'd they say? Do I got to go to my gate?" I mean, the coup de grace out of the entire thing is if they were at some other concourse and John would have missed his flight, but he caught his flight. I think Bob won like $400, $300 or $400, and all was well. And then the next morning I woke up, I saw Bob driving to LA. I was like, "You had a flight, bro."
He said it was going to be a whole ordeal. So he just drove.
Man. What a way. And that was just one of those
We were just going to be sitting around all sad that night, just going, "Man, I sure do miss it." But we got some fun, and we got to hang out and chat and really see something special to kind of end the week. And oh my God, yeah, like you said, that's got to be one of the greatest live streams of all time.
I have not cried tears of laughter like that for 2.5 hours straight as I did then. I mean, every single thing that everybody was saying in chat, I was crying. I mean, it was so funny. Everybody was so funny, and it was probably just I was tired, and it was the perfect match.
Yep.
It was great. I don't know.
What a trip.
What a trip.
So we heading back next week?
Fleshy P, you going to make that next trip with us, I hope?
I hope so.
Yeah,
that sounds like too much fun. I'd be the only guy getting off the plane going, "Where's that giant dick?"
We'll take you right to it. You have to get through Michael Jackson first. I don't know if he'll know what to do with your Canadian ID, but we'll figure it out.
ID. Oh my God, that was just. December, I think, is when I may plan one in the middle of November. Potentially, I have to go to Phoenix for work. But I may potentially be out there a weekend before with my cousin. He just messaged me, wanted to go.
I don't think I'm good till next year, but I am going to stay at Circa. I'm guaranteed this time.
Good. Brad and Joe and I are going to go in December. I'm not sure where. I think first weekend in December. So if I don't make it from in November, I'll be there in December. So
yeah.
We got some good things coming up here in the next couple podcasts. Russ Factor and I have been working hard behind the scenes.
Yep.
With those local bands. A tattoo update, since every live asks if I've got my tattoo yet. I have spoken with an artist here in town that is willing to let me film it, and he's a very good artiste. I am sending designs to him. So that's the update. Excited for that.
Yeah.
Next week, on next week's program, it is a recorded show. We have recorded it. It is featuring a band called Surface, Surphace.
Yeah.
Check them out where all things are found. Charlie, the lead singer, comes in to speak with us.
I think you guys are going to like it. It's a little bit different episode, but I mean, I think listening to us and what we've done, I think you'll get it. You'll get why we did it and how much it means to us to talk to Charlie. So
that is a good preface. Thanks, Russ Factor. That is a good lead into that. It is a different episode. We do talk about some serious subjects. It's not the normal dumbassery that you're used to. It's not. There's no dick riding, for the most part.
I don't know. You Slotmaster is a Charlie dick.
I do. I have ridden his dick. You're right. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. No, but it's good. It's
It's a really
nice fantastic episode, and he's a very talented artist. And
I'm excited because I haven't seen the finished product.
Well, I haven't either. I'm almost done with it. Almost done with it.
I'll be watching it live with you guys next week, but we'll get. I don't know how we're gonna do it. If we're gonna do a live deal or a premiere, either way, we'll be hanging out in chat, watching it together. So we'll be here with you guys next week. But little pre-recorded deal, something we just had to kind of do pre-recorded. We want to do some of these live that we're going to do with some of the guests we're going to have. We want to do most of them live, but with Charlie, we had a perfect window of opportunity to kind of do a number of things with Charlie that we want to share with you guys. So that's why next week's episode is pre-recorded, but we think you guys are really going to like it.
And he even said that he'd come back and play some tunes live for us if we wanted to.
Yep.
So that may be an option there as well. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think. I'm too close to this situation. I love it. I love him. But it'll be cool to see what the folks think. He's a local band here from the Kansas area. So if you've got a local band that's unsigned, wants to get in front of a small audience, hit me up. The slotmaster316@gmail.com. gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do. We've got a couple of other artists lined up that are not they're rappers. So got that coming up. I can't think of anything else. Fleshy P, you got anything on the agenda? What say you? What do you got this week?
After hearing all that, all I got is I saw a bear.
saw a bear?
I saw a bear.
Like in your yard?
On the highway.
Oh, shit.
You didn't turn, what did you do? Just pull over and go, "Hey, bear."
Everybody's having a blast in Vegas seeing a couple of man chicks on a giant dick, and I saw a bear.
Similar.
What'd the bear do? Did it just run off when you drove up, or
He just ran off.
was it a grizzly?
It was a grizzly.
Hey.
Grizzly bear. You remember that band, Russ Factor? Speaking of music, Grizzly bears are good. Did that make the newspaper in your parts?
No.
Fleshy P saw a bear.
Saves the community from a grizzly bear
He drove
Local
up on
idiot
it.
driving home sees grizzly.
on the main road.
Local idiot sees black bear on the black top.
Meanwhile, in Vegas,
Meanwhile, in Vegas, bronzer chick rides dick. Oh, God. Anyway, Russ Factor, what do you got this week? Anything? What say you?
Back for a big old episode of the Russ Factor Show. Not sure if we're going to get back into our superhero games or not. We'll kind of see how we're feeling on Friday. I feel like I haven't done the show in forever. My video game show. Come by and check that out. Twitch.tv/Russ Factor Show. Also here on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. We broadcast all over the place. So come by and say hi Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
We've gone 2 hours, Russ Factor.
I know. I knew
1
this
hour.
was going to be a fucking long one.
Sorry. Thank you guys all so much for listening. Greatly appreciate all the support. We have hit 36,000 subscribers on the big YouTube. I greatly appreciate it.
Ravy.
I can't thank you all enough. Russ Factor, thank you. Fleshy P, I thank you. All the folks, Socks, Marty, Kells Bells, Buffalo Bob. Buffalo Bob, I mean, what a host.
Yeah.
What a host Buffalo Bob was for his whole gang in Vegas.
I can't wait to meet him one day.
Dakota Slots World, King Solo Slots. Follow all those homies. The slot Sherpa, airport slot Sherpa, Papa John Slots. Follow him. Gambling Granny. We had a fantastic time at Granny Fest. It's a good deal. I mean, the fact that I wish we could pull something off like that. We couldn't. We couldn't pull anything off like
I
that.
said, when are you going to have your party at the Kansas Star? We got a lot of songs to write.
Oh God! I mean, it was a glorious trip, and every night got better and better and better.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was probably
right.
one of my favorite trips out there, man. But like I said, I was texting you going, man, each one of these trips we take is just so unique. But wow, this one was something special. So I'm glad we had so much good time with people.
I greatly appreciate all of that. Download the podcast. You missed any of it on Spotify or anywhere podcasts can be heard. You can watch the video on Spotify and YouTube. We've got that new feature on Spotify, Russ Factor. We are there. Thank you. Drop a follow on Spotify. The more followers we get, the more things and cool stuff we can bring to you on that. We just had enough followers to get us some video, so you can watch it on there also.
There you go.
All right, next week, Charlie from Surface. That's Surphace. Look him up anywhere. All his music's everywhere. We'll see you all next week.
Good night now.
night, everybody.